Hi everybody, I hope you're having a great day today. This is another lesson that I'm putting out on my new channel, Dwayne Allen Guitar Concepts. And I'm going to put this lesson, I think, like in the intermediate category. Okay, I just did one a little while ago for my for the beginner category. And I want to talk about chords on the guitar and how we can take a chord and learn other chords from it, okay? I'm sure there's other videos like this on YouTube because it's a pretty, common concept, but I'm going to go over it because I think it's really, really important. Um, what is the information that I think you should know if we're going to grasp this? I would recommend making sure that you understand chord building. In other words, how do you build a major 7 chord? How do you build a minor 7 chord? How do you build a dominant 7 chord? Okay, these are things that you might want to know before digging into this lesson. If you go on YouTube and you look in chord building, there's probably 100 videos on there on how to do it, and I would recommend learning that. But like I explained in my introductory video, it's just going to be short little lessons on certain concepts, and they're not even necessarily in order of importance or order or anything like that. It'll just be ideas that I think that you might want to work on. Okay, so as a guitarist, specifically a jazz guitarist, you want to learn a lot of chord forms. There's a lot of chord forms, a lot of voicings that you need to know. And I remember when I was younger and seeing these books where it would have like 10,000 guitar chords. And anyone who would pick up one of those books would look in those books and just go, oh my God, how do I learn all these? I don't even know where to start. And it's very, very overwhelming and intimidating, right? I don't think you need to learn it like that. The way I teach my students when I teach privately is I have a kind of a set of certain chords that you should know, and if you know these chords, you can play most jazz standards or most songs, okay? I just want to take one or two chord forms and show you how, if you know what each voice is, you can change it to make it into another kind of a chord, okay? All right, so for instance, I like to start off with like a major 7 chord, okay? And I'm going to pick a very popular form of a major 7 chord. This is what we call a G major 7, if you don't know this one yet. Turn it up. Like most guitar chords, the voices are not in order. Like if you know the theory behind a major 7 chord, it's the first, third, fifth, and seventh notes of a major scale, okay? Most guitar chords aren't voiced like that. They're actually out of order, because if you did voice everything in order, it would make all of your chords kind of end up like this. And there was a great jazz guitarist in the 50s named Johnny Smith who played a lot of chords like that. I think some people call them pianistic chord voicings, and they're actually very beautiful. Johnny Smith had beautiful chord voicings, and his understanding of harmony was unbelievable. So you should definitely check out Johnny Smith, and his most famous album is called Moonlight in Vermont, and it's a beautiful record. I highly recommend it. Anyway, so let's get back to this G major 7 chord, okay? Now, if you know theory, you would know that the notes of a G major 7 chord are G, B, D, and F sharp, okay? 1, 3, 5, 7 of the G major scale. Now, this chord has those notes mixed up in a different order. We call that an inversion, I guess you could say. Okay, so the voicings of this chord is the root, the 7th, the 3rd, and the 5th. So if you want to learn how to play the chord, it's first finger on the 3rd fret on the 6th string, 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string, pinky on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. The 5th string is muted out with your 1st finger. You don't want to hear that string, so it's going to sound like this. Okay, now, the voicing of this chord is going to be 1, 7, 3, 5. Okay, that means the 1st of the scale, the 7th, the 3rd, and the 5th. Okay, now that's a great voicing because we can add a lot of notes to it and we can change it around really well. So if we wanted to make this G major 7 chord into a G dominant 7, okay, all you have to do is you take the 7th note and you lower it a half step. Okay, so if you know your theory, a dominant 7 is 1, 3, 5, flat 7 of a scale. So this is the 7th of the scale, okay? If we lower it a half step, it goes from an F sharp to an F natural. So it'd be G, F natural, B, D, okay? That's a G dominant 7, okay? So now we took our major 7, we changed one note, and now it became a dominant 7, all right? Now we're going to make it another chord. We're going to make it a minor 7, okay? If you know how to build a minor 7, it goes 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7 of the major scale. We just lowered the 7th a half step. So now we're going to lower the 3rd a half step. This note here is the 3rd of the chord. So we're going to lower that note a half step. Now if we do that, we're going to have to refinger the chord. So we go like this. Okay, so you're barring it with your 3rd finger. You're going to put your 2nd finger on the 6th string. And this string is still muted out. Everybody got that? So from that one major 7, we made 3 different chords. So we have a G major 7, G dominant 7, G minor 7. Okay, I can keep going on and on and on. We can keep changing all kinds of notes, but let's just do a couple more just for the heck of it. Now there's another kind of a chord called a minor 7 flat 5. And it is spelled just how it sounds. 1, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. So we've already flattened the 7th, we've already flattened the 3rd, here's the 5th. We're going to lower that a half step. So it's going to be, okay, 1, flat 7, flat 3, flat 5. Okay, so major, dominant, minor, minor 7, flat 5. Okay, now I can keep going on and on. We could make it a minor major 7, we can make it a diminished 7, but I want you to get the idea. The concept that every jazz guitar player, or any guitar player should learn is whenever you learn a chord, you should know what scale degree each voice is. And if you know that, you can make it into other chords, okay? You can make it into a minor 7, dominant 7, major 7, minor 7, flat 5. You can do a dominant 7, flat 5, a major 7, sharp 5, flat 5. You can go on and on and on and on, okay? Let's do one more chord, okay? This is called a C major 7. Okay, the way this chord is played is 1st finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd finger on the 5th fret, 2nd finger on the 4th fret, pinky on the 5th fret. Okay, that's a C major 7 chord. 1, 3, 5, 7 of the C major scale. The voicings in this chord are 1, 5, 7, 3. Okay, so it's out of order, but it's still 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay, now if we make it a dominant 7, we take the 7th, which is this note right here, and we lower that a half step. That's a dominant 7, a C7 chord. Okay, so now if we want to make it a C minor 7, we find the 3rd, which is this note, and we lower that note a half step, so that way we have a flat 3 and a flat 7. Go, okay? That's a C minor 7. Then if we want to make it a C minor 7 flat 5, we take the 5th, which is this note, we lower that a half step. We're going to have to refinger the chord now. Okay? Now we have a C minor 7 flat 5. So we have major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor 7 flat 5. Okay? We can get fancy if you want. You can keep going on and on with this. If you know your theory and you understand how different kinds of chords are built, you can keep going. Major 7 again. What about a major 7 flat 5? So here's the 5th of the major 7 chord. Lower that a half step. Pretty chord, right? What about a major 7 sharp 5? Here's your 5th. Raise that a sharp, a half step. Right? We can do that with a dominant. Here's your C dominant 7 that we learned a minute ago. C dominant 7 flat 5. You lower the 5th a half step. Okay? Let's go back to C dominant 7. Okay, C dominant 7 sharp 5. Everybody got that? So, you can take any chord that you learn on the guitar, Figure out what the voicing is in that chord. Where's the root? Where's the third? Where's the fifth? Where's the seventh? It could be a ninth chord. It could be a 13th chord. And you can do the same idea with any of those kinds of chords. You just got to know, instead of getting a book and looking up, oh, how do you do a dominant 9? How do you do a dominant 7 flat 9? That's a waste of time. What are the voices? Flat the 9, sharp the 9, lower the third. There's all those things you can do. You don't need to memorize a million chords. You just got to know how to make new chords out of the ones you already know. That's the way to go. Okay. I could keep showing you more chords like this, but I just want you to get the general concept. Okay. A couple things that you should know that will make this easier for you is you really should know your key signatures. You should know what's the key signature for the key of C, for the key of G, for the key of F. One sharp, one flat, all that kind of stuff. Look up cycle of fifths, and there'll be like a circle, and it'll show you what all the key signatures are. And you want to know that, so that way if I say to you, what's the 7 of G? Oh, it's F sharp. How do we lower that? You lower that, and it becomes F natural. Those are things you need to know. So if you're not very good with your key signatures, you really should learn that, because it'll make everything else that I go over in the future make it easier. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to mostly teach you guitar concepts, basic theory stuff, especially at this intermediate level. These are areas that you should be learning on your own. YouTube has plenty of information. I would look it up. Okay? All right, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comments section. And if you like this video, please subscribe to it. And if you're interested in hearing any of my playing and what I sound like, I have another channel called Dwayne Allen Music that you might enjoy. It's just live videos and performances and all that. If you're interested in working with me privately in guitar lessons, I would love to meet with you. I live in the LA Orange County area of California, or I teach on FaceTime and Zoom. So if you're interested in taking lessons with me, please contact me with the information below, and I'd love to work with you. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.